The babysitter. When I was a kid, my parents hired a babysitter named Elise. She was quiet. Too quiet. But I was 6, and 6-year-olds don't question things like that. Most nights, she didn't play games or put on cartoons. She just sat in the chair across from my bedroom door, watching. I remember waking up once, thinking I heard breathing that wasn't mine. The room was dark, except for the hallway light spilling in. Elise was still there, sitting perfectly upright, hands folded in her lap. I whispered her name. She didn't answer. Then she turned her head toward me, slowly, and smiled. Her eyes were white, not rolled back, just white, like the color had been drained out of them. No pupils, no reflection, just a flat, empty stare. I pulled the blanket over my head and stayed there until morning. The next day, she acted normal, talkative, cheerful. She made me breakfast and hummed while she cleaned. When I told my parents what I saw, they laughed it off. Nightmares, overactive imagination. But it kept happening. Some nights she'd be laughing loudly downstairs. Other nights, dead silent. Once, I woke up and she was standing at the foot of my bed instead of sitting in the chair. Same smile, same eyes. After a few weeks, she stopped coming. No explanation, just gone. Years later, as an adult, I tried to look her up. I don't know why, curiosity maybe, or guilt. It wasn't easy. Social media turned up nothing. Eventually, I found a court record. Elise had been institutionalized shortly after she stopped babysitting me, diagnosed with severe bipolar disorder, psychotic episodes, religious delusions. The report mentioned that she believed something had entered her at night. She never left the facility. I still think about that smile sometimes, and how, when I was a kid, I didn't think she was sick. I thought she was possessed. And part of me still isn't sure I was wrong. Room 312. I used to work night security at a small medical building just outside town. Nothing dramatic. Locked doors, empty hallways, flickering lights. The kind of place where time stretches. One night, around 2:40 a.m., I noticed a light on in the 3rd floor exam wing. That wing was closed. No patients, no staff. I knew that because I had signed the log myself. I assumed someone forgot to turn it off. When I reached the hallway, the air felt wrong. Not cold, not warm, just heavy, like sound didn't travel properly. The light was coming from room 312. The door was open. Inside was an exam chair, a sink, cabinets, normal stuff. But someone was sitting in the chair. An old man, hospital gown, bare feet on the tile. I asked if he was lost. He didn't move. I took a step closer and noticed his reflection wasn't visible in the metal cabinet behind him. I chalked it up to bad lighting. My brain was already trying to rationalize. Then he spoke.
You're early.
I told him visiting hours were over and asked for his name. He smiled and said,
They stopped asking me that.
I noticed then that his wristband was yellowed, brittle, like it had been there for years. I radioed the front desk. Static. When I looked back, the chair was empty. The light shut off by itself. The next morning, I filed an incident report. My supervisor looked uncomfortable, not skeptical, just tired. He asked me which room I said it happened in. When I told him, he sighed and pulled out an old binder. Room 312 had been sealed for years. An elderly patient had died there during a night shift. Cardiac arrest. Alone. No nurse nearby. No call button pressed. The man's last recorded words, according to the nurse who found him, "You're early." I asked why the room wasn't locked. My supervisor said, "It is." I still work nights, and sometimes when I pass the 3rd floor, I see the light on again. The mile that wouldn't end. I do a lot of night driving for work. Long stretches, empty highways. The kind of roads where your headlights feel like they're tunneling through darkness instead of illuminating it. This happened on a state route I'd driven dozens of times before. It was just after midnight. No rain, no fog, clear night. The kind that makes you think nothing unusual could possibly happen. About 10 miles in, I noticed a car behind me. Old sedan, beige or silver, hard to tell in the dark. No headlights at first, just the faint outline of its shape when it passed under the occasional street lamp. That was the first odd thing. I slowed down a bit. It stayed behind me. Then the headlights flicked on. Bright. Too bright. High beams, maybe. I sped up slightly. So did it. I told myself it was nothing. Late night paranoia. You spend enough time driving alone, your brain starts inventing patterns. A few miles later, I checked my mirrors again. The car was closer now, riding my bumper. I changed lanes. It stayed with me. I slowed to let it pass. It didn't. That's when I noticed something else. The road sign coming up ahead. Mile 217. I knew that sign. After it, there was a gentle curve, then a bridge, then a straightaway that led out of the wooded stretch. I passed the sign. The curve came. The bridge came. The straightaway came. And then, a few minutes later, another sign appeared in my headlights. Mile 217. I actually laughed out loud. I checked my GPS. It hadn't rerouted. No signal loss. The map showed me moving forward, just like normal. The car behind me hadn't moved. Same distance, same position, like it was glued to my rear bumper. I told myself it was a duplicate sign. Old road, budget cuts, whatever. Then I passed the bridge again. Same graffiti on the concrete, same rust streaks, same shallow dip where my suspension always complained. My laughter stopped. I tried calling someone. No signal. The radio crackled, not static exactly, more like someone breathing too close to the microphone. I turned it off. The car behind me flicked its headlights off, then on, then off again. Each time, they stayed perfectly aligned with my mirrors, like the car wasn't following me so much as being attached. I sped up. The engine whined. The speedometer climbed. The road didn't change. Same trees, same curve, same bridge, same mile marker. 217. My mouth went dry. I slammed on the brakes. The car behind me stopped instantly. No screech, no delay, just stopped. Inches from my bumper. I put the car in park, sat there. Neither of us moved. I got out. The night was dead quiet. No insects, no wind, no distant traffic. I walked toward the other car. It was older than I thought, paint flaking, windows fogged from the inside, like someone had been breathing in it for a long time. I tapped on the driver's window. Nothing. I wiped the glass with my sleeve. There was no one inside. No driver, no passenger, no keys in the ignition. But the engine was running. I stepped back, heart pounding. Behind me, I heard footsteps. Slow, deliberate. I turned. The road behind my car was empty. No headlights, no vehicle. Just darkness stretching back farther than it should. When I turned back, my car was gone. So was the sedan. I was standing alone on the bridge. I don't remember how I got home. I don't remember calling for help. I woke up the next morning in my driveway, engine cold, keys still in the ignition. When I checked my dash cam footage, there was only one clip saved. It showed my car driving alone, no sedan behind me, no second vehicle at all. But as I passed the mile marker, 217, something appeared briefly in the rearview mirror. Not a car, a face, right where the driver should have been, looking straight at me, smiling. I don't drive that road anymore. And every time I check my mirrors at night, I still half expect to see headlights that aren't really there.
Did we scare you? Did you enjoy these creepy true stories? Want some more? Join us every week as we uncover new tales that linger long after the lights go out. Subscribe and never miss a thing. Until then, this is Carson Knight of Room 67. Be safe.